Good morning, students. In this session, let us see about engineering mechanics, beams and support reactions. So, what are beams and what are support reactions acting on the beam? So, let us understand the introduction class in this. Beam. What is a beam actually? It is a structural element. Okay, it is a structural element which has one dimension length considerable larger than. So here see this image as structural element. So here for a structure, for a building, we have a foundation, column, beam and slab. Okay, beam means it's a horizontal member. So column means it's a vertical structure. So foundation. This beam is used for carrying loads, vertical direction, loads in the vertical direction. So you see these beams, so which carries the vertical loads. So in the beam only we load the other materials. So here slab is there, no? Slab is fixed. Slab isn't fixed with the beam only. So the beams are structural members, structural element which are one dimension, which is explained only in length. Okay, lengthwise, which is used for carrying loads in vertical direction. So here reaction force and developed at the supports. So beam will be supported at any point, right? So it's a vertical member, it is supported. So at the supports, reaction force will be created, that is support reactions. This reaction force only carries the loads. So the beam is in equilibrium, the system of forces. So vertical forces will acting. So this vertical force is supported by the support reactions. So totally by the applied loads and support reaction, the system, the beam will be in equilibrium. So here in this, we are going to study about the beams and the types, support reaction and all. So we studied about it. It's a structural member used for carrying the vertical loads, which is supported, which is in equilibrium, which is a structural member. We studied about it. Then types of beam. There are three types of beams are available. First one is cantilever beam. Second one is simply supported beam. And third one is overhanging beam. Okay. Cantilever beam. Cantilever beam means a beam, a horizontal member, right? A horizontal member, a lengthwise member. Here one end is fixed end, other end is free end. Okay. So cantilever beam means one end is fixed, other end is free. And at the free end, load will be acting. The loaded at the free end. In the cantilever beam, it is loaded at the free end. So cantilever beam is a fixed at one end and free at the other end. It is loaded at the free end. Let us consider the reactions means here for cantilever beam we have fixed end, right? So it is fixed at this point. So at this point reaction force will be there. So reaction force, it has one horizontal force, one vertical force and moment. So it is fixed. Okay, fixed means it won't allow it to move in any direction. Okay, x direction or y direction, it won't move. Okay, because it is fixed. If you rotate the element, it won't rotate. Okay, so it won't allow horizontal movement, it won't allow vertical movement, it won't allow to rotate. So reactions will be created. So reaction means whenever an action force is restricted, reaction force will be created, right? Okay, action force is restricted means reaction force is created. When I am applying vertical force means vertical reaction will be created. So this vertical force will not allow this free and the fixed end to move. Okay, so opposite reaction will be created. So vertical When horizontal force, when I apply horizontal force to move, it won't move. So horizontal reaction will be created in the fixed end. So moment, when I rotate in, the reaction moment will be created in the opposite direction. Thereby it maintains equilibrium, it won't allow. So for a fixed end, it has a horizontal reaction, vertical reaction and moment. Okay, we studied about cantilever beam, right? So cantilever beam means it's a beam having one end fixed and other end is free. Okay. Then go to the next type. It is simply supported beam. Simply supported. It is not fixed. See, a beam which is placed on two supports at the end. Okay. It is supported at both ends. Simply supported. So this is a beam. So bridges. Okay, bridge is an example for simply supported beam. So here between the supports, between the pillars, the beam will be placed over it. There is no fixing. Okay, it is not, it is placed over the supports. Okay, this is simply supported beam, supported at the ends. Okay, it is supported at the ends of the beam. So it is the horizontal member, it is supported at the end. So at the end only reaction will be there. So reaction, it is having only vertical direction, having reactions at the vertical directions, reaction 1 and reaction 2. So bridges are the example for simply supported beam. The beam which is supported at the two ends means it is simply supported. Then overhang beam. Okay, here so many supports may be there and it is overhanging from the end. Okay, it is cantilever, overhanging from the supports. Okay, it is, otherwise we can know continuous beam also, the overhanging beam. So many supports, the 2 supports or 4 supports are there, and from the supports also the beam is overhang to certain distances. This type of beam is overhanging beam. So we studied about the types of beam, which is 3 types: cantilever, simply supported and overhanging beam. Then types of loading also. So here beam is loaded. It is used for supporting the loads, right? So many type of loadings are there. 3 types of loading. How we are applying loads on the beam. So there are 3 types of loading techniques. We have concentrated load or point load, uniformly distributed load and uniformly varying load. So 3 types of loading is there. So first type is concentrated loading or point load. Load acting at a point. Okay. Concentrated load. So here at the cantilever beam, at the free end, one load is acting at a point. Okay. So point load. The load is acting vertical load. Okay. One vertical load is placed at a point. So concentrated loads is called point load. It is called point load. Load is acting at a point in a beam. Then uniformly distributed load. So uniformly distributed load means, okay, uniformly distributed, the load is uniformly distributed throughout the length, throughout maybe certain length. The uniformly distributed load. It is not point load, it is not concentrated load. The load is acting uniformly over the length of the beam means it is uniformly distributed load. So here load will be, the symbol will be in this way, or otherwise it may be noted like this. The unit will be in W per unit length. Okay, uniformly distributed. Per unit length, how much of load is there? Okay, so that same amount will be acting over throughout the length. That means uniformly distributed load. Uniformly, the load is distributed from one end to another uniformly over the beam. So here, in order to find the effective point load while calculating, while we are doing calculations, this uniformly distributed load, we have to convert this uniformly distributed load into point load. That is effective point load. The total load, So here from throughout the length from left end to right end load is acting. So total load, how much amount of load will be acting means, so we have to multiply it with the length. So per unit length W is given with the unit length. Per unit length this much of load. Then we are multiplying the total length. We will get total amount of load acting. So here this load, where we have to put this point load. So here this load is acting throughout the length. We are converted it into a point load which is having a magnitude W into L. So where we have to put this point load means we have to put at the middle of the middle point. Then only the calculation becomes correct, right? So we have to put the middle of the length of the uniformly distributed length. So here throughout the length L meter distance. So middle means L by 2 distance. L by 2 from right end, from left end L by 2 distance. At the middle point we have to put this effective point load of the UDL. So here for finding the effective point load we have to multiply the load per unit length into the length over which the weight is acting. Okay. Then another type of loading is there, which is uniformly varying load. Okay, uniformly varying load. This is the load value is uniformly varying from 0 to, so at the one end, so see this diagram, at the end A there is no load, at the end B maximum load. So from minimum to maximum a linear relationship will be there, uniformly the value is increasing. Okay, this type of loading is known as uniformly varying load. Otherwise we can say it as triangular loading. So at one end it is 0, goes on increasing, at another end it is maximum. So linear relationship. So that's a triangular load or uniformly varying load. Here also while calculating we have to convert it into the point load. How to convert it into the point load means how much amount of load means here the area of the triangle, we know that area of the triangle is half into base into height, right? So half, base value is L, height value is W. Okay, W weight, maximum weight is W, the length over which it is acting is L. So in order to find the effective point load, we have to use the triangular area of the triangle formula, half base and half into W into L. So this is the effective point load, where we have to put this effective point load on the beam. So in uniformly distributed load we placed it in the middle. But in uniformly varying load we can't place it in the middle, right? It should be at the centroid point. That means, so here the load will be higher, right? At the right end load will be maximum, left end load will be minimum. So the effective load will not be in the middle point, it is somewhat towards right. So that is at the middle, that is at the G point, the center of gravity point, that is 2 by 3 and 1 by 3. So from the maximum load point from B 1 by 3 of L, and from the 0 point load A means it is 2 by 3 of the length. At this point only the weight will be acting. The effective point load will be acting at a point at a distance of 1 by 3 of the length from the maximum load and 2 by 3 of the distance, long distance from the 0 point load. The load will be acting, effective point load. So with this we have to calculate the other parameters. Then aggregate values. So here point loading means at a point the load is acting. Uniformly distributed load means uniformly distributed throughout the load. Effective point load means W into L, which is acting at a distance of L by 2. At the midpoint this effective point load will be acting. Then triangular distributed load. The triangular load means varying, uniformly varying load. Here the effective point load is WL by 2, that is half BH formula. Then distance is from the maximum value, right? From the maximum value L by 3 distance it is acting. From the minimum value means 2 by 3 of the length value. Then trapezoidal distributed load. Trapezoidal distributed load means the having both uniformly distributed and uniformly varying. That's all. If I write on horizontal line means uniformly distributed and uniformly varying load. Both are loading at the same time means it is trapezoidal loading. So here also the effective point load is L into WA plus WB by 2. Okay. Then the distance from the maximum end means this distance L by 3 of this formula. We have to use this formula to find the distance from the maximum end. That's all. Now with this we've studied about types of loading. Okay, now we study about support reaction. So the beams, so up to this we studied about the loading. So we studied about what are the types of beams, and after that how they are loading techniques. Then we are studying about the support reactions acting on how to support the beams. So how supporting means support reactions will be created. Support another body, supported by another body. One body will be supported by another body, right? Nothing will be in the air. So any beam we have to place means we have to support with another body, the ground. This support is known as support. When we are supporting means support reactions will be created. Reactions means whenever an action force is supported means the load is supported. Load is balanced at this point. So equal and opposite reaction force will be created by the support from the support. So keep the system in equilibrium. Support reaction is created at the end, at the supports. So let us study the types of supports. Here we are having 3 types of supports: roller support, hinged support and fixed support. Okay. So for supporting a beam we have 3 techniques: roller support, hinge support and fixed support. So first of all, roller support. So this beam is placed over the roller. Okay, this roller support. So here roller means what are the reaction forces acting means what are the reaction forces? Whenever an action is restricted, reaction force will be created. When I am applying vertical load, this roller will not move. Okay, it will support. So when opposite reaction will be created. When I am giving horizontal force, what happens? The roller moves. Okay, it will not create sub-reactions. So this supports. Roller support means it supports only the vertical loads. Okay, if we need to support only the vertical load means we can use roller support. So the roller support have only the vertical reaction only. When I am applying vertical load, it will resist, it will support. If I am applying horizontal load means it will move, no reaction will be created. If I am rotating means it will rotate, no problem. So no rotation reaction will be there. In support reaction, in roller supports only vertical reaction will be there. Okay, it is used for supporting only vertical loads. Then hinge supports. Hinge or pin support. Okay, pin support. Here you see this image, pin support. So here what happened means 1 degree of freedom only. So this is supported at this pin. So we cannot move in X direction or we cannot move in Y direction. It cannot move in Z direction, but it can rotate. It allows only the rotations, but it can't move linearly. So that type of support is hinge support. That is our door joints. So door is hinged at the wall. That's a V-jari, we know that. So we can rotate the door, but we cannot move the door in horizontally or vertically. Okay, that type of supporting is known as hinging support. The door is hinged at the wall. Okay, so there only we can rotate only, but we can't give horizontal or vertical movements. That type of support is called hinge support. So here what are the reactions will be there means it is having horizontal reaction and one vertical reaction. That all. It is having only 2 reactions. Horizontal force if I am applying, it won't move. The door will not move in horizontal direction. So it create reactions in horizontal. When I am applying vertical load also, vertically if I am applying load means it won't move. So it is vertical reaction also it is having. But I am rotating means it will rotate. So no rotational moment reaction. So next one is fixed support. something which is fixed on the other body. So fixed means it won't allow to move any direction, it won't allow to rotate also. It won't allow to rotate, it won't allow to move anything. So that means it will support all the ways. It will support means if we apply vertical force will be it support. If I am applying horizontal support means it will support. If I am rotating means it will support. So the fixed support have all horizontal reaction, vertical reaction and one moment also, rotation also it is having. Okay, so here with this we studied about the introduction of beams.